Okay, so preparing the scene for dynamics. Now, when you get into dynamics and constraints and movement and keys and everything else, there's a bajillion things that can go wrong. So, here's what I suggest if something goes wrong. Take a look at your scoop. Is it clean? Does it have anything on it? This has a point constraint on it. It doesn't have any weird nodes in here or anything like that. If it does have some weird nodes, you might have to go back a few steps and edit delete by type history. You also have to delete by type rigid bodies and delete by type constraints and reassign the point constraint there. So back off a little bit. So you should have a clean scoop, nothing on it. And now what I can do is assign it a passive rigid body. Okay, and now I need something to interact with it, like the ball. Again, you notice I made a new ball. It's better than having the old ball laying around and it giving me a headache. Remember that was an OBJ I brought in. It could have had like a transform history. It could have anything. It's very volatile. So under dynamics, I'm going to click on the ball and hit gravity. This will automatically assign it the type of object I need it to be. It should plop in really nice. And as you can see, there was a little tiny sphere that just magically appeared out. Did you see that? So, boom. This one right here. Okay, that was from something from the past, so I made sure I got rid of it. Plop. Right down in there. Good. Also notice I have no movement. I deleted the keys away from the movement on the catapult a little bit too. So get everything situated really well before you go animating anything. Get your dynamics working. If it plops down in there, good to go. Now make sure your fire mechanism works. Yep, still does. Great, great. Alright, so now let's test it out. First off, make sure you save your scene as something else. Save it as like cat2 die or something. So have one before you assign dynamics to it and then after you assign dynamics to it. Trust me, later on it will bite you if you don't. These I'm going to assign to the same gravity field. I'm going to go into Window, Relationship Enters Dynamic Relationships, and go into this window right here. Nope, that's expressions. Oh, down here. There we go. And you can see that I can have my dynamic relationships where I don't need a million gravities in the same field. I have the spheres actually highlighted, and I'm just going to assign it to a gravity field. Looks like I took two gravity fields. I'm just going to leave them be right now, but notice that, the less, you probably only want one gravity field in the whole scenario. Okay, so now to key this thing. Okay, I'm going to actually key it so it just fires off first. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not going to try to move it. I'm going to first get it to actually fire. So what I want to do here is do that on a frame. That way if I do decide to move it later on, I have enough frames to solve, which is about 50 it looks like. And then maybe from 60 to 130 it could move, and then 170 it could fire off. Okay, so firing off is very easy. I'm just going to put a key here, and then a key here. Change this to 20, and key it. Now, this might be a little too close to the keys. So the closer these are, the faster it'll shoot off. It might actually shoot off so fast that it'll shoot this thing right through the scene. So we're going to try it. Hit play. And you can see, yep, it shoots it straight up in the air. Okay, so what I want to do here is move this by cutting it and pasting it. Okay, then relaunch it off. You're gonna have to mess around with this whole concept. Another thing we gotta change is the ball to kind of be less bouncy. Good. Okay, I'm gonna move these up just a little bit so they solve correctly. Right now they're solving right through the field. Make sure they all get attached to the gravity field. Okay, so now let's take a look at the ball and let's take a look at the scoop itself in the next video. So it doesn't fire up in air, it fires straight.